But kind of going back to the media, and I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. The White House, I think it was yesterday. They made some interesting press changes for just the pool that they're going to allow in a lot of these settings with the president, where it used to just be Bloomberg, Associated Press, I think Reuters, and now you're having like Blaze Media, and then was it Newsmax being covering that along with Bloomberg, I think, for now. And it really has you thinking, and we've said this before, and it wasn't even like something that we held, at least me. I know you kind of had your own feeling about it, but the whole Hitler thing, and you're really starting to see this play out just a tad if you're paying attention, where he's literally limiting the media. And I try to stay kind of as central as I can in the middle with this, but it's just blatant that he's out here trying to push his narrative. And you're supposed to be the president of the United States. You're supposed to be the president for everybody. And you're over here putting these known, like worse than Fox News, conservative outlets at the forefront of what you're saying. And that really does show that you can't be trusted. So I kind of just wanted to get your input on that. I was trying to be neutral there, but it's really hard to do that in this situation.
That was a lot. First of all, you talked about buying up outlets and being able to say and do what you want because of the ownership of New York Times or whatever it is, Washington Post. But the reality is that once you've kind of sectioned off all of these conservatively led outlets, um, and everyone has either been fired or have stepped down because they really are more about, like you said, you like to be centrist, you like to have an open mind, so they're more about actual journalism than creating propaganda. And so people have, you believe it or not, people still have their ethics and everything, and I don't think you can pay bills with it, but sometimes it's worth it to say, look, I know who my maker is or my creator or whatever, and I'm not about this life, so I'm not about to do that. But once we've done all of that, we still have people who are willing to share the truth as they know it and willing to share their opinion that may go against the opinion of the current regime. And there's a danger to that because there's more than one way to silence opinion. And what you said, I think you said it's showing that we can't trust this person. Well, if you've been paying attention, and there's no reason you would have been, but had you been paying attention, we knew back in the 1990s we couldn't trust this person. And they have not said or done anything to try and convince us that they're not the 1990s
Yep.
person taking out full page ads against people who have not even had a trial yet,
Yep.
who eventually were exonerated of all charges anyway. Where there was never a full page ad for an apology, there was never a whispered apology. There was never an apology. This is that same person. They've never wavered. So, no, we can't trust them. We never could. But now they're surrounded by other people who clearly we can't trust, Um, so I'm saying all that to say that even with our platform, actually being able to step outside and say, hey, I don't agree with this. And I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm just saying, as a United States taxpaying citizen, I don't agree with this. That should, at the very least, be everybody's right. And what I'm finding is, there are certain people who, Kyle Rittenhouse. You remember Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy who I guess he couldn't even drive, so his mama drove him a state or two away with a AR-15. Was it? I don't really
Mm-hmm.
know my weapons like that yet, but anyway, I believe it was an AR-15, and he ended up shooting protesters, and at least one or two of them I think died, and
Mm-hmm.
so he was tried, and then found not guilty or not responsible for their murders because it was in self defense. And I'm thinking, how do you take a trip to go somewhere to defend yourself? Like that doesn't even. You could have just stayed at home, right?
Hmm.
Why am I bringing this up? Because either yesterday or today, he was an invited guest. He had 30 minutes to speak at the University of Memphis. You have to ask yourself, why? You know what I mean? Like, nobody asked OJ to go around the colleges and speak once he got off. Like, don't play games with me, you know? So, all of this is by design. What you're trying to do is send dog whistles to people that, hey, perhaps you too could get away with this type of behavior, especially now. So, nobody's stupid, you know? And the local news outlet interviewed some students on campus, and it was a variety of students, right? It
Hmm.
wasn't just black students, white students, males, females, and without exception, the students were like, we don't know why he's here. You know, nobody, like there were protests last time he came. We don't know why they keep beating this dead horse. Well, I think I do. And I think it's supposed to be a message sent out, kind of like back in the, Ku Klux Klan days. So,
Yeah.
they hang someone and they don't let, it's against the law for the families to go and cut the person down, and then the Klans people or whoever they're false flagging as that day pull the person down and drive them through the community so that the other community members can see, hey, if you step out of line, this could be you next. It's the same message. It's the exact same message.
I think you made a lot of good points there, and that's rough.